For over 500 years, one single system has been the quiet engine behind all of global commerce. I mean, it's the language of business, the absolute bedrock of our economy, and in this explainer, we're going to see how it's right on the brink of a truly revolutionary change. So let's just start with a pretty wild question. What if the very system we designed for financial clarity is actually creating hidden risks and even opportunities for fraud? What if its greatest strength is also, well, its biggest weakness? All right, here's our roadmap. We'll kick things off with that 500-year-old system, then we'll dig into its biggest problem, and finally, we'll see how a new technology, blockchain, is about to change everything. Okay, so first things first, we've got to go back to the beginning. We need to really get a handle on this elegant foundation that, let's be honest, has served us incredibly well for a very, very long time. So picture this. It's 1494. A Franciscan friar and brilliant mathematician named Luca Pacioli writes down this method that would, literally, change the world: double entry bookkeeping. And at the heart of his system was this simple but incredibly powerful tool called the T account. The genius of the T account is really in its simplicity. Just think of it like a balancing scale. For every debit you take from one account, an equal credit has to go into another. It keeps the books in perfect harmony. But, and this is a huge but, here's the catch. It's a closed loop. It only works inside a single company. And that, right there, is where the problem starts. And that brings us right to the core issue, the crack in the foundation. The system is perfect for what's happening internally, but modern business doesn't happen in a silo, right? It happens between companies. So imagine two people have a conversation. Then they each go home and write about it in their own private diary. That's kind of what's happening here. Company A's books say, hey, we sent a payment. Company B's books say, great, we received it. Both of their diaries, their ledgers, are perfectly balanced on their own, but they are two totally separate, totally private records of the exact same event. There's no single shared truth connecting them. And this is the real kicker. This lack of a shared truth creates these massive problems. I'm talking hundreds of billions of dollars a year spent on auditors whose job is basically to manually compare these separate diaries to see if they match up. And this gap, well, it's where mistakes hide. And even worse, it's a playground for fraud, like fake invoices. Now, this isn't some new discovery. For decades, some of the smartest people in accounting knew this was a huge limitation. They were on this quest, searching for a kind of holy grail, this mythical third entry that could finally link the books of different companies together. People tried all sorts of things. You had Olaskursky in Russia with his triple book, and Yuji Ajiri talking about momentum accounting. Then, in 2005, a guy named Ian Grigg got so close. He proposed using a shared database for transactions secured with digital signatures. They all had the right idea, they knew what was needed, but they were all missing one crucial piece of technology. And that, of course, brings us to the breakthrough moment, the technology that makes a true third entry not just an idea, but a reality. It's here, and you've definitely heard of it. It's called blockchain. Now, for a second, just forget everything you know about Bitcoin or crypto. Think about blockchain for what it really is. It's a totally new kind of record book. It's a shared digital ledger, but here's the thing. No single person or company owns it. Everyone involved gets a copy, and once you write something in it, it can never be changed. I mean, ever. And these features, well, they're like a perfect solution for accounting's biggest problem. Immutability means no one can go back and cook the books. Transparency means everyone is looking at the exact same version of the truth. And decentralization means we don't have to rely on two separate private diaries anymore. We can finally have one shared, trusted story. So the big question is, how do you actually merge this powerful new technology with a system that's been around for 500 years? Well, this leads to the big aha moment of this whole idea. A really simple but totally profound change in how we even look at an account. Okay, so let's go back to our good old friend, the classic T account. It's got two dimensions, right? A debit on the left, a credit on the right. It's always in balance, but it's completely internal to the company. See, the T account just has no place to put that shared truth. It can't answer the most important question of all. How do I prove with cryptographic certainty that the other company involved in this transaction agrees with this entry? It's missing a whole dimension. And here it is, the brilliant solution. You add a third axis, transforming that familiar T shape into an X. So what's on this new leg? It holds the hash. A hash is just a unique, one-of-a-kind cryptographic fingerprint. Think of it like a digital wax seal on the transaction that gets permanently recorded on that shared blockchain. This hash, that is the third entry. That's the unbreakable link that finally connects the two companies' books. Okay, that's the theory, but how does this X accounting system actually work in the real world? How does it really change the day-to-day for businesses and especially for auditors?
So let's just walk through a quick example. A design firm sends an invoice to a client. Step 1, both companies record it in their own private books, just like they always have. But then the transaction is sent to a shared ledger, where both the firm, the client, maybe even their banks, all have to digitally sign off on it. And only when every single party agrees is that unique hash created and locked in, forming that third leg of the X account.
And here is the magic for the auditors. Their job is about to change completely. Instead of spending months trying to match up two different diaries, they just have to look for one thing: transactions without a hash. A missing hash is an instant red flag. It means somebody hasn't signed off yet, either because of a simple delay or, much more importantly, because they don't agree with the transaction. The ripple effects here are just enormous. Fraud becomes incredibly difficult. I mean, how do you submit a fake invoice if you can't get the other party's digital signature? It's impossible. Audits become radically faster, cheaper, maybe even automated. And for the very first time, we get what we've always wanted: a single, verifiable source of truth for every transaction between businesses. The researchers who came up with this X account idea, they put it pretty bluntly. They said the move to this more secure, more transparent system isn't really a question of if, it's just a matter of when. So that leaves us with this final big thought to chew on. For 5 whole centuries, we've built our entire global economy on a system of private, separate truths that we just hope match up. So what becomes possible when we can finally rebuild it on a foundation of shared, verifiable, and totally unbreakable truth?